I own, he hasn't introduced it, but I own 5 clinics. In a way, I'm involved in 5 clinics. We started many years ago. I became an owner in 2006. And we are quite, I think we have around 20, 25 chiropractors and quite a few people. And if you were to know me, you know that I always want more and more and more. And I always want to improve and always want to get better. Around 2018, I think this was roughly 2018, 19, 13, 14 years into practice. We got to the point that the clinics were working well, very well, but we felt like we are always, whatever we try, whatever we do, we always hit this like glass ceiling. And I don't know if you feel that when you with your practice, whether it's in a front desk, when it's getting too busy and you feel like the ladies at the front desk are on the phone and therefore people don't get the right service, or that the chiropractor or massage therapists are too busy and it's one after the other and we're losing contact points with the patients and so on. And this glass ceiling always hit us, and it was always getting to me, because you can go and you can have screening and you can stand in a street corner somewhere and get loads of patients in, which is great, and you're all excited, the clinic is buzzing and zooming and so on. But fast forward a week or two later, and you're going back to the same numbers, and sometimes you're even deep. And then you stop and you take a step backward and you think, okay, what can I do? And then you come up with suggestion and you come up with ideas if you are like actually taking the time of thinking about how your practice really work. And sometimes you put these ideas into motion, but a lot of the times those ideas are involved a little bit of the staff and a little bit of the system, and it's not flexible enough, and it's not this, and what you do, you just take a step backwards. And when you take a step backwards, it tends to be quite demotivating, because you came up with an idea, you tried to execute it, something wishy-washy came out, you got few patients, you worked so hard, nothing really to show for, and slowly it just pulls you back, and you literally stop coming up with ideas. And that was something that was really getting to me. And we were talking about it between us, we were playing with the conceptual, because we felt that the actual software, the main, which is the core of our office, is what actually slows us down, because we want to do something, but obviously we can't. So we were playing with the idea, and at least 2 years, should we do it, should we not do it? No, we can do. And Becky was saying, you can get this system from here, and this system from there, and you can have a system from here, and Google this, and this guy come with this system, and it's all good, because they all serve a function. But I'm not as organized as Becky, and I can hardly take one system at a time. You know, I'm struggling with WhatsApp to put aside like all the other systems. So, and hence why I do text at 10:30 in the night, which I shouldn't, but I do. Yeah, usually FaceTime, but never mind. Anyway, so we decided after 2 years or so, we decided that's it. We have a choice. We either stay a small business. I wouldn't say small business. I think we were trying to like play the part, stay like a small business, or we take the plunge and we actually go forward, or we evolve. And this is where we actually started to, play with the concept. We've been in a position that we felt that we're running a business, which is great, but I always kept on asking myself, if I was to sell, I was talking to Craig lesson before as well, if I was to sell my business tomorrow, what actually am I selling? I'm selling patients, I'm selling this. What is like the business that I'm selling? Because obviously when you come to sell it, you want to have something to show for. So this is partly how the idea came about, and fast forward 3 years, Zoneee came to life. And Zoneee is a software that we put it, obviously it starts, if you compare to whatever software that are out there, obviously we have the calendar, and all softwares, including Google Books, you can book an appointment, change an appointment, reschedule, maybe write a notes, set a record, set a this, which is great, because that's what the software should do. But when we took a step back and we asked ourselves, what actually our software, our automated system in our practice doing to, I know I'm taking away from chiropractic, to actually, and I speak to Emma, my CA, whenever she comes with suggestions as well, I say, what, that doesn't make me money. When I'm thinking about it, it's nice to have something that is different color and different this and this, but does it make me money? And I was playing along with actually moving to other like larger brands, you know, the larger companies over here, which were familiar, like Practice Hub and Clinical, and I couldn't justify any one of those softwares because I didn't feel like, okay, apart from booking, it doesn't do what we want to. And this is when we went to the journey and Zoneee came about. We have installed it to our practices. So 4 practices has actually moved from one, we used to, I don't know if you're aware of it, capable, from one system into our system, and the growth has been tremendous. We were as busy back then with 60 to 70% of the patients that we are today, and you could see that like the workload was crazy. From phone calls to making callbacks to losing patients to having patients that actually out of the system with no future appointment and no callback. And you know what, if I investigate your systems, because it took us a long time, you'll be surprised how many of them are there in no man's land. And we're just like literally losing us on the business side. So we have moved, we have reduced our workload by quite a lot, definitely. I think probably 80 to 90% of our phone calls are gone, so there is no more on the phone while a patient is standing there. And we increase our contact and retention with the chiropractors by, I don't have the exact percentage, but quite a lot. We have, in last October, we have Andy started his Christchurch clinic, so he started in this software by himself. And Andy, if I'm not mistaken, you are in this group of with Ryan Ryder, and I think you were the fastest growing clinic within all of this group. So it's obviously proven to generate business to any clinic that is using it. So the vision that we have for this, so again, I'll take a step backwards. We made it for ourselves, we didn't make it with a plan to sell it. It's brilliant for us, and then it got to the point of like, hey, I have this product, it's great. Obviously, the clinics is the main business that I'm in, but I cannot just keep it to myself. I have to share it. I have to bring it to the public, and with the vision now to literally change the way that the chiropractic profession works. We need to move away from the model of one person that is in charge of the marketing and generating new patients and doing the retention and having 6 or 7 systems to work and having the meetings and so on, and expect the person to go afterward and treat their patients and stay in the zone. You might suggest where the name comes from. So basically we want to take away all the side noise, make sure that the business is working to the best, and allow the chiropractors, this is the vision of this software really, allow the chiropractors to shine really in chiropractic, to provide what they're best of, which is chiropractic care. So I have made a video with some of the features. I want you to see, I might stop it or speak over it. I want you to see how those features can benefit contact points and flow of any practice, of our practice. And then afterwards, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Yeah? I'll just press those buttons. Oh, someone else pressed it. schedule can be seen in the same place. Once you change days, it will change with you, so it's a smart diary. No clutter. We install a mobile application that comes with it on over 12,000 phones now. And we created our bonus system. This is how we reward patients for loyalty. We decided to give 6 points for every referral that has been made. You can make the referral through this orange button. You press on it, you send an invite, you give the power to your patients to refer more patients to you. You allow them to feel part of your team as well. They send it only once the referral has been made. The bonus points will be added. And then you track, like they said. So you choose, you want to check how many people refer. On the left, all the people who sent an invite. On the right, all the people who use the invite. We got quite a few new patients out of it. And we rewarded all of them. So we say thank you. Again, schedule easy to be made with the drop of a button. It will recognize. You can see the purple line over there. It will always tell you when this is the last appointment. So you never let the patient leave the clinic without an appointment. And it will allow you to add extra alerts. So you can keep this personal touch to it. Integrated direct debit, no more third party where you need to go and do. It's all within the system. You change the person to direct debit, you press a button, just input direct debit. Initial payment, higher payment for 2 for intensive, and then you don't need to sign the patient again. You just allow it to continue. Because we don't expect the patient to finish after the initial plan. You just continue, 15th of the month, and you have all the plan. The patient came for an extra appointment, not a problem. You charge him for an extra appointment. No need to open the wallet. It's all there. 1 month the patient is on cruise, support that. You just stop it. He bought a pillow, he needs to buy a pillow. You add the payment. It's all out of the direct debit. You do not need, they never need to open their wallet. And you can see the schedule. You can always go. You want to change, I didn't do it, but you want to change the prices, you raise the prices, the person can price them up. You just change. You don't re-sign them. That's a thing of the past. They are loyal. You need to reward them. We give them a point for each one of these once they're on our maintenance scheme. Yeah? When they collect 18 points, if you remember, we reward them. That's what we do. You can customize it to yourself. You can add loyalty reports. You can give them for referrals, for reviews, for social media, for whatever they do. You just add. There you go. Thank you for your review. I'm grateful. And obviously booking 24/7. Always open for business. Not a problem. You just choose whoever you want. Lauren is here. If you want to see afterwards, you just book. You see on the 16th at 3 o'clock. And it's done. No more phone calls. You know, phone calls. No one calls us and asks, when is my appointment on Thursday? That doesn't happen. They just check. And then we need to give some value. I'm not sure who of you taking X-rays or before and after images, or maybe posture images. All you need to do is upload it, open it, and it will appear. So they can show everyone, look why I'm still going. I'm not walking. And exercises. You build your own library. You can use ours. And you feed it to your patients. Once they're there, on every patient's notes, you just go. And just with this easy of locking and unlocking, you literally prescribe exercises to your patients. No need for a third party, some physio software out there that will send an email as well. We need to manage it from one place. We need to know in our notes which exercises we give. You press the exercises, and if you refresh, all the new exercises will appear. Simple as that. Last thing I'll show is closely linked to MailChimp. It will recognize when a patient is back to care. So when we send emails, when a patient hasn't been for a while, for example, this is one example, it will trigger a funnel. If a patient books in, it will take him out of the funnel, which means that they're never going to sit in your office saying, or come for an appointment, and 2 days later get an email, we haven't seen you for 5 years. So it's obviously closely linked. And the same goes for new patients, whether they booked in, whether this was the new patient, this is the reactivation funnel that just goes in. And MailChimp, I know that there is a lot of CRMs, but do we really need it? We need it straight to the point. We need an email system that every time that they book, they come out of the funnel. If not, they stay. But these are just a few. I could have gone even longer and longer. You need to. Press some button. Buttons. Someone press a button. And these are just some features. Obviously, there is loads of features. You can move, you can reschedule, you can work on managing clients, and also the system will never let you lose a client, never let you lose a client. You can try and trick it and book it and change it and cancel it. It will always send it into a list, and it will always have to be dealt with automated SMSs if you want, prior to the recall. And if they book, they're coming out of the what we call bring up recall callback list. And yeah, it's all designed for managing the patients, reducing your workload, but keep on these contact points to increase the value that we give. I hope it was interesting. I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah, of course. It wasn't a video we can show you, but this is where you prescribe the exercises. So of course, everything is paperless. You can send digital forms. You can log this. Of course. I'm a chiropractor. At the end of the day, that's the first thing that we do, and we build the system around. You know, I don't know. Anyone been in the ACC in here? In the ACC? Yeah, so you know, if you go to the ACC, first of all, they build a bar, and then they build the college around. And that's how this is how we roll. First of all, what's important? We built it from a chiropractic point of view. Yeah. Thank you very much.
get.
So great presentation. Thank you very much. Just a question: if anyone wanted to start working with Zoneee and they were on another system like Practice Hub, how easy would it be to transfer over to Zoneee, and what kind of cost are we looking at to sign up?
There is no cost for the transfer, and it's as easy as nodding your head. Really. We have created this like beautiful migration of information, and we have this program of sending CA over and training. It's super easy to manage anyway. We try to build it similar to an iPhone, but we don't need a manual in order to work your system. It's just happening. But obviously, knowing some tweaks is always beneficial, and we literally do it for you.
So I can use both systems at the same time?
If you want to, we can transfer it into a test site but more ideally, you let go of the system that just book appointments and you come to the one that actually builds your business.
Okay, and how quickly could a practice then start with Zoneee? I'm sure it must be really popular, so.
Weeks, or a week, whatever. Usually what we do is we wait for them the chiropractors to finish their work on a Saturday, so all the information is kind of done and we have the weekend. We transfer everything, and I mean everything. There is nothing to input, there is nothing to go back. With the training, if we're aiming for some help in clinic or outside clinic, then they can be up and running in no time. And we are running clinics in the UK time, so obviously you're always on the other side for support. So it's a phone call away, email if you want, or WhatsApp, you're always available.
We can use all of our clinic brand name as well.
You can have your icon. We have our icon on, like I mentioned, 12,000 phones, but you can have your personal icon on their phone. Just think how much will Coca-Cola pay to have their icon on all these people's phones. And what we do, we just grab the phone, we download their app when they come, and they report the findings, and we tell them, you go home in 5 minutes, you will have your appointments available on your app.
And last question, what's the costing of such a system? So it's quite elaborate. Is it similar to other systems as well?
Very, very similar. I can talk to you, obviously, if you're interested in you're obviously aware of the prices, but it's I go to cost 80 for the first, 40 for the following practitioner, and 20 thereafter. Yeah. Lovely, thank you. Another question?
Can you restrict the number of appointments that are available? Like we looked at that one and it just looked like there were so many appointments available. If you wanted to book your schedule, you just allow it to be booked alongside another appointment?
Yes. Yeah, of course. No, but because it's an interesting question because you can block, and now we're adding this like specific appointments as well. It's an interesting question because when you do that, we actually do open our heart to our patients, to our clients, and tell them you actually have an access to our diary. And it is important that we can kind of control it and so on.
And can you book multiple appointments at the same time?
Not at the moment, no. But you can reduce it to 5 minutes.
You have to show, if you see 3 or 4 across, you have to show them that they're appointments at 5.
3 or 4 across, how long?
15 minutes.
So we do every 5 minutes. You know, we've done it, and I had we were thinking about we've done it. We have one chiropractor that's actually saying for many years 3 a course, like 15 minutes, and we always had yesterday we laughed about it in this. I'm here to see Tom at 9. I'm here to see Tom at 9. No, I'm here to see Tom. So we don't have that. I'm here to see Tom at 9. I'm here to see Tom at 5:09. And I'm here to see Tom at 10:09. And Tom sees everyone in 15 minutes. Yeah. But yes, there is flexibility. Obviously, different clinics have different needs, but it's very, very good. It will increase. I was talking to Andy, and he was saying, what offer do you give to people today? I'll say it, and then I'll come down and build the stage that you will need. Basically, whoever joins us, let's say phone today, we give the first 3 months for no charge, that's not a problem. And if you need to follow some of like our instructions, not much, If you don't increase your turnover within a year by at least 10%, we are that confident about our product. It's just, it does its own job, yeah.
Great talk, it's awesome. One question, it might have been covered in the last question, but if we have multiple appointment types, so for example, you know, a 15-minute appointment or something different for a half an hour or 45 minutes, in the app where the patient books themselves in, is that a facility that can be used in the app, or is it just standard 15 minutes or whatever you set?
I will show you. You set it on the actual main, so one will do 5 minutes, one will do 10, 15, half an hour, if it's the same appointment. Obviously, if it's a completely different, you set the time. And in the app, the patient that goes on it will only see the minute. So it allows you to have one person seeing 5 minutes, one person 15. Just flexibility.
When patients go online, is there an option to have them pay a deposit?
Yes, they can pay it like this if you want to. Yeah. Everything is yes. Whatever you want, I'll do it. It's as simple as that. Instead of asking questions, just say to yourself yes and let's move on. No, it's a great system. Listen, again, I know I repeat myself. We built it for ourselves. For me, 10%, it's, you know, it's in the, I don't want to like, it's a lot, you know, because we have like 5 clinics, busy clinics, you know, and for me 10% was a lot. We achieved that. I can see the atmosphere in the clinic. We never have phone calls. It's just beautiful, and it's happening. We send the SMSs for recalls. You see the appointment appear, which is lovely, and you see it with the all clear in the direct debit. Easy. So we go on it.